Okay, so um I'm going to start with the slowest burn up to the quickest. So, Mon Mothma. She's again having a party. I'm starting to think that's the only type of scenes they're going to give her. So they can emphasize how elegant she is compared to the rest of the rebellion. I don't know why they just show her at parties, but parties that she's hosting. So she meets with her friend, and he mentions that there's something wrong with the finances, and he asks her, how much money are we talking? She tells him, and it looked like he swallowed his tongue. So, but as they're talking, Leda, her daughter, comes, and it sounds like she wanted to tell them something. She was really, really nervous about talking to her mother. Maybe it's because it was not just her. But her mother mentioned that her father was looking for her. So she, instead of saying whatever it is she wanted to, she goes to find her father. And then a bunch of senators come in, so suddenly she has to play hostess, so she had to leave her friend. And they're talking about this public order that the Empire passed, and everyone seems to think that it's for the best. Everyone is all for this public order, except for Mon Mothma, of course. Her husband is all for it, and, they never show a scene with her and her husband where they're not showing just how different they've become. I say become because they mention that they got married when they were 15, and that's a custom on their planet. But nobody, so I assume that they were in love once. So I don't know if she used to be pro Empire and now she's not, or what their connection was. Because it seems like now he could fall off a bridge and her only concern would be Leda, and otherwise she wouldn't care. So, like, they showed this drink that apparently she used to really like, and she's like, yeah, I guess I'm just, got tired of faking it. Which, oof, my brain went somewhere completely different, but okay. So, and this scene ends with her again looking for Tark. I really don't remember what his name is. And it's like, oh yeah, he left because he had an early day tomorrow. So it sounds like she's going to go find him. I'm sorry, when someone says that, that means they're going to bed usually. What is she doing? So, but that's how her part of the story ends. Now, Cassian, and yes, this is a slow burn. He is taken to a prison planet, and they're forced to take off their shoes, and I'm like, did the Empire just steal their shoes? But it turns out that the floor is electrostatic or something, and they have a huge electric shock if they misbehave. So hence the not being allowed to wear shoes because you can't punish them if they're wearing shoes. Okay, fine. So Cassian spends most of this episode in absolute shock. That is the only thing I can think of as to why he's so slow on the uptake. He's slow on the uptake, but at the same time, when he's awaiting his assignment, he's looking around and noticing what the guards are doing. Even though the guards keep telling him to look forward, he keeps peeking to see what's happening and like hearing things like, oh, I'm sorry I'm late. They were short a man on the level below, so I had to help out with that, and that's why I'm late. So he's taking note of this. Because I mean, he is a good thief. He is going to pay attention to these things. So even though he's in total shock as to what's happening to him, at least that part of him is still working. So apparently this is a prison run like if all of the prisoners were Pavlov's dogs, basically. Because, or any type of animal that you would try to train, or rat or whatever. Because what they do is that you are in a competition with the other tables to finish first. And those people who finish first actually get flavor to their food. And I don't know about the different rooms. If the top room gets even, better food than the rest or what. But apparently it's competition amongst competition amongst competition. And like I said, Cassian's noticing things like they're standing in line, and he notices that one of the people who's from his table is communicating with someone else. And I half expected him, first I expected him to take on those guards while he was canvassing before he was introduced to his assignment. And then I thought that he was going to throw this table mate under the bus and tell on him that he's communicating with someone else or whatever. That could still happen. That second part could still happen. But so far, nothing. People are asking him about if he knows about the new public order and about the rebellion on oh god, my brain is not working today. Adari. And if he knows anything about it. And obviously Cassian is, like I said, he's still in shock, but he's not stupid enough to cop to it. Because everyone's sentences got doubled or tripled, and yeah, I'm sure they wouldn't like it very much, and he's like, yeah, it was me. But they even said, don't worry about it, doesn't really matter. Don't look at that. So maybe some of them would be like, you go, because that means the rebellion's actually hurting the Empire. Why else do this? So, who knows? Maybe he would have had some allies if he admitted it. But there was this one guy who keeps talking to Andor, even though he's told to go to his bunk. And Andor finally goes to his bunk just before the red light hits. And we later see, I think it's the same guy who Andy Serkis's character threw against the the wall and said, "That's enough," as if they were fighting or something. And which, that's fascinating, that because his character is so close to finishing up his sentence, that he's allowed to wear shoes. He's actually running the room. So basically, they have a system where they're pitting prisoners against each other, which, I'm sorry, that always ends well. But anyway, this one guy, you see him standing, and then you hear some hullabaloo, and he's face planted on the floor, dead. Now, something was mentioned earlier about sleepwalking, but no, I think he did that on purpose. I think he committed suicide. I don't think it was that he's a sleepwalker and he just made a mistake and stepped on that floor. He did that on purpose. And but they showed that he had been there 30 shifts. His first shift, he's just standing there like an idiot, like, I have no idea what's going on. I have no idea what to do. And then he's completely a part of it. And it doesn't seem like he's even plotting to get out. It's like, this is my life now, which we know is not true, because it's Cassian Andor. So we leave him, and now we get to, now this is a bit connected, so I have to do both of these at the same time. Bix and Cassian's friend, Gasso, something like that, are helping out Marva. She apparently hurt herself opening a tunnel to help the rebels. And Bix and Basso are basically acting like she's a senile old woman. And he wants Bix to call Luthen and find out where Cassian is, that his mother is ill. So Clea intercepts the communication. Well, I shouldn't say intercepts, but receives communication. And she convinces Luthen that this can't be happening. We need to shut this radio down. And now, I didn't catch the absolute reason, but it doesn't sound like she's a fan of Cassian Andor. Luthen still likes him. So, and then I thought he was going to go and do some detective work and find out where Cassian is. But no, he goes to visit Saw Gerrera. And neither one wants to admit that to the other one that, Luthen doesn't want to admit that he was behind the raid. And I'm like, why? If you guys are working together as part of a rebellion, why won't you say that? I guess he was afraid that Saw would demand more money or something. I don't know. Or because he's paying Luthen for his equipment. Maybe Luthen figured that he wouldn't have a leg to stand on if Saw knew that he has all this money now. I don't know. But he's trying to get Saw to meet up with this other member of the rebellion, who I do not know, because, I only watch the live action stuff. I don't read the comics. don't watch the animation. So if this guy appeared in other projects, I have no idea. But Saw is not thrilled at all with this idea. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. But at the beginning of the episode, Daedra was talking to Cyril, and she's annoyed with him that he keeps filing reports on trying to find Cassian Andor, trying anything and every trick to convince people that this is a dangerous person and he needs to be found or something. And so she asked him, "Okay, what's not in the report that you gave to Blevin?" "Oh, I never read the report. He didn't let me." So she at least lets him to read the report. And I really thought that her that they would do a team up, but no, he tells her what he can about Bix, about Ferrex, and then she basically discards him, like, "Okay, go back to your playpen. We'll take it from here." And and she's getting annoyed that he wants to be a bigger part of this. So she goes to Ferrex, and there's this hullabaloo on Ferrex, and one of the kids said, "Where's my dad? What did you do with my dad?" And then they call Bix's name, and Basso says, "Run." Because that always ends well. So, she starts running, and of course that, like I said, ended well. So they take her to be interrogated, and they show her, I don't know if he's a co-owner with her or just an employee or what their relationship. They are definitely co-workers. And she wanted Bix to see what they've done to him. And then they immediately take him out and sit her down, implying that they're going to torture her. So, because they want to know where Cassian is. At the same time, Cinta and Vel are also looking for Cassian. So basically, all the characters on the show are looking for Cassian. Whereas he's just chilling at a work camp. And so Cinta decides to stay on Ferrex and tells Vel to go off and, try something else. Which Vel, I don't know, she sounded a bit jealous. She's basically like, "Wait a minute, we just got back together. Are you trying to get rid of me?" So, and Cinta's like, no, this is just the best way. So now it's a matter of who's gonna find Cassian first, because obviously Cassian is using a fake name. Now you'd think with the Empire being so technological and security oriented, you would think that they would look it up and discover that no such person exists. But no, they don't. So I don't know how extensive their database is. But Vel leaves the planet, goes on the shuttle, and she looked like someone just killed her puppy. She looked so pathetic, so depressed. So yeah, it's just going to be interesting to see Number one, who gets to Cassian Andor first, and number two, who lives to tell the tale. Because you know that someone is not making it out of the season alive. Um, I've been seeing, I have been seeing, theories that suggest that Daedra is actually Cassian's long lost sister. Now, if they want to go with that she's not, that was just a tan, and so now she's white. Otherwise, Hispanic. So yeah, that they look so different. But I guess it would be too obvious if they made them look alike. So I guess it's possible. Um, I'm not down with that. I really hope they don't go that route. Um, I mean, I don't see anything wrong with finding out that your sister is a nobody. I'm perfectly fine with that. It doesn't have to be that his long lost sister is an integral part of the plot or something. Um, let's see if I missed anything. I think I've got this whole episode covered. So I will see you guys next time.